Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we're here to talk about a Polish film, considered as one of the best Polish films in cinema history. And it's also coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. A re-release is coming out later this month in August. So we're talking about Ashes and Diamonds by... Well, I'm just going to straight up say it now. We're not going to pronounce anyone's names. I'm a quarter Polish, and I have no clue how to say these names. So I'm not going to try, because I butcher it anyway. I could butcher an American name. John Schmeith. It's a film that was made in the 50s. It's from 1958, to be specifically. And it's about May 8th, 1945, the end of... Well, not the end of World War II, but the end of the German side of the World War II.
Well, I wouldn't say it's about that.
No,
but that's when it takes place.
It's the setting. It's not about that.
Yeah, because it's about so much more than that.
Oh, yeah.
And this is basically reflecting on post-war Poland and being able to explore that through a bunch of complicated characters.
Oh, yeah.
And just what they have to deal with on that day.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure going in if I was going to be into this movie, especially, like after some of the opening scenes. I'm like, am I going to get invested in these characters? Am I going to, fall into this story? Am I going to connect well? Because this is very close. Like, we've had trouble connecting with movies, particularly dealing with like other countries' histories, because we didn't experience it. There's that age gap, and then we're also not from those countries, and we don't understand, like, we don't know the scope of the history, we don't know the ramifications to the degree that people from there do. This filmmaker is earning all the reputation points he's got, because this movie really does reflect the conflicts extremely well, the themes extremely well.
And also, if you just boil down to it, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Like, you have a very distinct main character of, it was Maciek.
Yeah, Maciek is kind of the young guy.
He's got the sunglasses, or the regular glasses with transitional frames. They're sunglasses.
Yeah, and then you have Andre, who's his direct... so those two are part of this underground, political underground, trying to sow unrest and hurt the Communist Party, because the Communist Party's kind of in charge. So these guys are part of an underground trying to usurp communism as the popular party.
Yeah.
And they have help from the mayor's secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of plays both sides. He's kind of more of a minor character, but he's the mayor's secretary, so he works in the communist government. But he's helping the underground sow unrest. And basically, the opening scene is them trying to execute a political leader, and they think taking him and the guy he's with out will shake the party to its core, pretty much, and start a domino effect. And they get the wrong guys.
Yes.
Early in the movie. They kill two innocent guys coming home from their cement factory job.
Yeah.
And that kind of starts us off like, our protagonists are really in the gray area here.
Oh yeah, definitely. What I like about it is, it's mostly Maciek's story, but Andre's there, and it's interesting when you see, like, because you realize that the very, very recent post-war, it's not like an off switch. You can just turn it off and reset. No, it's the whole movie's a gray area. Maciek's like kind of like I like how in the film he starts out like he's like laying on the ground, like almost taking a nap. So ants, I'm like he's not. He's very free carrying.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre's very down the middle business. And Macha gets over the film. He gets more. He cares more. He's more. You see him vulnerable a lot. And there's a point where like the perspective changes, and Andre's not. Andre is still the same person he is, but he's viewed in a different light by the audience near the end.
There's so many interesting conflicts that all the main characters have. The mayor's secretary deals with it being on both sides and possibly facing a promotion, but after helping the underground guys trying to assassinate somebody. Modchek, I think of it like, I don't know, like carefree is one way to describe him. I think of it as like a youthful bravado.
Yeah, he got thrown into this.
Yeah, it feels like how people describe like teens feel invincible because they're young.
Yeah.
And the whole future's ahead of them. And he's not really thinking about tomorrow or the next day. He's thinking about living in the moment.
Yeah.
And that ends up putting him in a different situation in the movie.
And Andre's trying to appease his higher-ups.
Right. And Andre also has moments of conflict. Like, I love where Andre, after they find out they did not hit the target.
Yes.
Andre reports to his higher-up. So he's a lieutenant in the underground, and his boss is the major, as we call him. And when he talks to the major, he's like, is it really important that we kill this guy?
Yeah, but the war's over at this point for them.
Yeah, he's like, is it really that important? And the major snaps him out of it and just makes him lock in focus as a soldier. And he tries to do the same with Modchek, and that has its own repercussions. It was a Jesus, like it was a crucifix, and the Jesus had broken off, and it was flipped upside down, hanging, and it's such a great shot.
That's such a great shot. One of my favorites. The ending is very well shot when he runs into like the group of soldiers that chase him down. But it cuts between him and Christiana. But also there's a great shot of like the even like the freaking hotel clerk has something. Yeah. You see him like he's holding like the Poland flag.
Yeah, when he pulls out the Polish flag and goes to...
Because he misses Warsaw and stuff like that.
I love...
Framing.
The part where Modchek waits under the stairs, and then the political leader comes down, and he's pacing back and forth.
Yes.
And Modchek's watching him through the holes in the stairs.
Yeah.
It's just so many great things like that. Shining Christiana in light while he's, trying to make the decision.
There's a point. It's a spoiler, so I don't want to go there. There's a point where there's fireworks that fire in the sky.
Amazing.
Great timing. It's also kind of like at that moment in his brain, the war is over.
It's so beautiful, and there's such a great moment. There's even just using stage direction, because I didn't look too deep into the director's history, but he has to have theater experience, because there's a part where Modchek is physically looking between two places. He's got Christiana on our left, his right, stage right. And then to the left, his left, is the deed that he's thinking about doing.
Yeah.
And he's going back and forth between them. And you're just like, this is outstanding direction. And using blocking, using physical space to accentuate the inner struggle with the characters. It's tremendous.
So Joe, I'm not sure how you feel about this one, like, if you recommend and stuff like that. So Joe, do you recommend the film? I'm not sure.
I would. It's not the easiest and most approachable film, I think, for a casual American fan. But I think if you let yourself get soaked in, the story's going to take you somewhere. The characters are going to take you somewhere.
I also recommend this film. It's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD from Criterion. I might pick it up just for like the supplements. But if you are still a little hesitant from our two schmucks recommendations, I will say it's on HBO Max and it's also on the Criterion channel. So if you want to dip the toes in a little bit, see if you like it. If you do, then you go buy it. Buy it.
Yeah.
This, let us know in the comment section below what you think about this film. What's another one of the director's films? What's another Polish films? Maybe not by this director, by in general. I don't think we've done many Polish films.
No, and I'd love to see some more significant Polish films in history.
Yeah. So let us know.
If this is the tentpole, we got a high ceiling.
Yeah, in that comment section, you put in there or just any other recommendations. Because I know in October we do horror films from the Criterion Collection. Make suggestions now because it's August already. Already August. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell your friends about the show. The show's slowly growing. We want more people. And follow us on Letterboxd. We have a Letterboxd Criterion Connection list. So how many have you seen that we've watched? Get that little check mark. So that's about it. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm still Joe.
And we will see you later.